Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm running late. This is going to be a short video today, but here we are. And let's just read a little bit of positivity, and I'll tell you, I don't know exactly. I mean, I have an idea of what we're going to do. When we only have a little bit of time, I have some ideas. So, in good company, spend time in the company of those who can stand up for you when you're unable, those who believe in you when you are unwilling, those who honor the magnitude of your greatness, even when you're not quite ready yourself. They see you for who you are, trust them, show them love, and honor these relationships. That's a really good one. When someone says something kind about you, choose to believe them. You will find exactly what you expect. When I question my own perspective, this antidote shared by one of my teachers reminds me to be more mindful of my thoughts. A woman walked up to a gate of guarded community and asked, "What kind of people are here in your community?" The man at the gate replied, "What kind of people are there where you are from?" "Well, they are mean, rude, nasty, and short sighted," she said. "You will find the same people here," he told her. A few minutes later, another woman walked up to the man and asked, "What kind of people are here in this community?" The man at the gate replied, "What kind of people are there where you are from?" "They are kind, loving, authentic, and good," she said. "You will find the same people here," he told her. And so it is. We often find exactly what we believe we will. Haha, I love that. That's a really good parable. Oh, I've never heard that one before. That is so true. So I love how these are about community, which is kind of what we're all about here. So that was fun today. Okay, now only a little bit of time to craft. One of my goals this month was to smash some 12 by 12 paper. I had two 12 by 12 paper pads picked out to smash. So let's look at them. Now, I had selected them for different reasons. I had selected this one to make little notebooks. So this is an old DCWV from 2014. This is a different kind of paper. It's super thick. It's slick on the cover or on the front where the print is. It's not printed on the back. And I just think these are perfect for making little notebooks. Some fun and funky little notebooks. Now, I have been working on some images that I thought I might put on these notebooks, so I'm not ready to deal with this paper pad yet, but we will. I'll be bringing out my cinch machine, and every time I use my cinch machine, I try to kind of teach with it too, because I find that a lot of people have it but never use it. So this will be for later. So that was one of the paper packs. The other paper pack I had selected to kind of go through was this one. And this is an Amy Tangerine, and I just think it's so fun. I've been hoarding it because I think it's so fun. Some of my favorite pages are the ones with the tigers. I love tigers on paper. I like them in real life. I just don't want to be around them. And I just love everything about this paper. I think it's super fun. Love the colors, love the prints. It's just a really fun paper pad. So I think what I want to do with you guys is make some card bases with these papers today. I had pulled this paper pad out thinking I also wanted to use it for my happy heart journals, but I don't have the rest of my things. Okay, and then I also have this one, which is an old Michaels paper pad. I think it's from Michaels. Craftsmith. Is that where that's sold? I don't remember. But it's really pretty. And I was kind of thinking we might make some card bases out of this one too, because I think it would be really pretty with my Hey Girlfriend paper. This, especially like this blue. So let's go through, let's say we only have 30 minutes to craft. So what are you going to do in your craft room with 30 minutes? We are going to make like some card fronts, and we're going to make some card bases. So let's make a few different sizes so you have some ideas. Oh, look, that sheet wanted to come out. Ooh, that's so pretty. That's nice. I'm actually looking for some of these. Last night we went to Hobby Lobby, and I am so proud to say that I bought a bag of beads, a little package that had these 2 little mini Valentine teddy bears in it, and a little package of wooden conversation hearts. That's all I bought. Are y'all proud of me? I went through all the crafty stuff, and that's all I bought. So I spent like $7, but I did buy my sister-in-law. She just got a new teaching job and she has a new classroom, and I bought her a 12 by 12 frame, and I was going to go through my 12 by 12 paper pads and take out some of these pieces that can be framed like this one and gift them to her. So I have this one, and I'm going to gift it to her with that frame. And it's a good day for a good day. I thought this would be fun in her classroom. She has a middle school classroom. So I am going to go through my paper pads, and I'm going to pull out all these sheets that look like this and gift them to her with her picture frame. So if you're interested in 12 by 12 picture frames, they're like 12 bucks at Hobby Lobby. And maybe you have a bunch of these paper pads. It would be something you could do for your craft room, for a friend. Let's pull this one out. I'm definitely going for a lot of this blue. This pink would be lovely too. Let's get this one. I think 4 is enough for today from this paper pad. Okay. And then let's grab a couple from here too. This one could even go with my Rainforest Refuge. I really want a sheet of this in my Happy Hearts journal. Let's see. Let me reacquaint myself with this paper pad and make sure I have another one in here. And then I'm going to pop in there and check out all the comments. Hey, look at this. It looks like a master board. That's fun. I do. I have one more of those sheets in here. Now, I might actually go ahead and put this sheet back anyways, because I don't like making, well, we can make one. We can make one. Okay, it'll be good. All right, I'm just going to pull 2 from here because I want most of this for the journals. I'm going to pop in and hang out with y'all in the comments. Let's grab one of those master boards. I see another one right here. Just because. This is a kind of a fun version of a master board too, because it has all straight lines. I don't often make them like that, but you most certainly can. This is how they'd look. Okay, so we have 3 sheets from Amy's, and we have 4 sheets from this one. And we're going to make a few variations here of cards. Let me get my paper trimmer out and say hello to all of you. I always have to give it a minute so I can find my video. Otherwise, I have to restart my computer over and over. Hey, Cordelia. Hi, Ann. Good morning. Hey, Beth. Did y'all think I wasn't coming on? Hi, Bertha. Good morning. Hey, Messy Palette. Good evening to you. Hi, Jennifer. So good to see you. And Miss Linda Gorman. Hi, Natasha. I haven't seen Pam yet. Pam Bell or Pam's PJ Stamper? We got two Pams. Okay. Let's go. All right, for 5x7 card makers, you can get one card base from well, here, I think we might be able, let's do this. We can get one card base from a 12x12. Now we're talking bases and not, you know, toppers, not fronts. So if I cut this to 7, then I'll cut it to 10, and that'll be that. If I cut it to 7, then that leaves me with this piece, which is 5. So I can get a 5x7 card base and an A2 card base. So let's do this. So this is the one that we cut to 7. We'll turn and cut to 10. I just thought this may be another way for you guys to bust through your 12x12 paper, and another way for you to think of your paper. Maybe you don't think about your paper being card bases, but it can be. It most certainly can be, and part of the work is already done when you have a beautiful card base made out of your patterned paper. And a lot of these card pieces are cardstock. Now they're lighter cardstock, but by the time we maybe cut a piece to put in here and then layer up the top, it's as thick as you need it to be. And I think that's just a lovely place to start on an already patterned piece of paper. So we have a 5x7. We can cut this one down to an A2 size, which would be 4¼ by 5½. We're gonna have this strip and this strip as our scraps. Not bad, those are good scraps to have. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut this to 11. So we're gonna have one more scrap, a lovely scrap, might I add. That's a lovely scrap to have. And then we'll score this at 5½. Okay, so from one sheet, a 12x12 paper, there's 2 cards for you. You can get a top folding A2 and a side folding, as always, 5x7. All right. You can also, of course, get more A2s. So we can do, but only 2. So I could have cut that at 11 first, but I didn't. I'm cutting it at 4¼ This will be my scrap. We'll deal with that here in a second. Let's turn this, trim it at 11. If I cut it at 11 first, then I would just need to cut my 2 card bases, but that's okay. We'll do it this way. Now, this is kind of like using any other, you know, standard sheet of paper and getting 2 A2s, but you can do the same thing, of course, with your 12x12. And 5½. Now, here's the thing to think about too, is direction. So the patterns I chose today really didn't have, they weren't directional patterns. And that's because I do prefer, if I'm going to make card bases out of my patterned paper, that it be a non-directional pattern like these. like when you have this way, the flower fills up right, but when you turn it over, it doesn't really fill upside down. It just, they're kind of scattered about. So I do prefer that over a directional pattern. But I'm going to show you an alternative for that one directional pattern. So let's look at this piece and see what size it is. It's 3.5. If we turn it, I'm thinking about the 4 bars. Hold on. So here's a 4 bar, and it's 3.5 by 4. It's always like almost 5, but it's not quite. So let's cut this down. Let me do the math in my head. Hold on. Yeah, if we go to, I think if we do, let's just go to 10 for now, because it's almost 5 on each side. I have this little scrap. I think we can make top folding 4 bars if I can get my measurements right. Just want to make sure I do that. So what I'm going to do is measure here and score. I know this is the right height, and just now I scored that a little hard and I got a split right here. So careful with your patterned paper. Like, I work with a thicker card stock for my card bases typically. I needed to do it like this because my math isn't mathing and I don't trust myself. Yeah, I would have cut it too long either way. So I need to cut it at 9 3/4. And that will give me 9 3/4 will give me the right size. And now we can have top folding 4 bar card. See? Isn't that fun? Like that idea. So from one sheet of 12 by 12 paper, we got 2 A2s and a 4 bar. And this is our scraps. Again, lovely scraps to have. I don't mind having scraps like this. So especially when, like, you could decorate the inside of your card with these. Like, there's a way to use that one. Here's a way to use this one. So those 2 scraps are used. And then you've got this lovely left, which you could use. You could actually make a pocket for a gift card. Just so, I mean, well, you could sew, but just glue these 3 sides and you could pop a gift card in here or some cold hard cash. All right, so one sheet of 12 by 12, and we've got 3 card bases. Let's do, you could do mini slim lines. That's right, Angie. No, I'm with you. How you doing? I'm just figuring things out. I'm just trying to get all my measurements. So, okay, so we've tackled A2s, 5 by 7s. Let's just do a sheet of 4 bars. I think that'll be fun, especially now that we have our measurements, which was cutting them down to 3.5, right? And then 9 3/4. So let's do this one. This sheet of 12 by 12 is just going to be for 4 bar cards. So we're going to do 3.5. Well, it's okay. We could have done the 9 3/4 first, but we're doing the 3.5. This is a scrap. I'm going to stack 2 because I know this trimmer can handle that. We're doing 9 3/4. Fun scraps. I'm not mad about it. 9 3/4. And then we are going to score over here. Let's see how my math is mathing now. Go lightly on the score. That's it. That's the ticket. And just comparing to the store-bought version. Yep. So there we go. And if you can imagine, this is a great project if you're not feeling very creative, but you want to be in your craft room. This is one of those projects I would totally recommend, because before you know it, like we're just crafting in 30 minutes today, you'll have a bunch of card bases for the next time that you have time or you are feeling creative. You'll have a whole stack of card bases to work with. Okay, now for me, this paper feels directional, and I think we should cut some mini slimlines. I love mini slimlines. Now, also, you could, of course, cut slimline cards, but they're not my favorite, so I don't even make slimline card bases for me personally. But we could make some mini slimlines. I have to remember what my measurements, it's been a long time. What my mini slimline recipe is. I'm pretty sure most of the time at this point, I use 6x6 and just score at 3 for my mini slimlines. So we can get 4 mini slimlines from this. You can certainly make yours a little larger. This is the smaller version of a mini slimline, but the reason I do the smaller version is because, like in this example, I can get 4 from one 12 by 12 sheet, whereas if I cut it larger, I'm only going to get like 2 or 3. So this is just a more efficient way to use my paper pad. So I have a 6x6 piece now, and I'm just going to score on one side at 3 inches. And this can be our mini slimline card base. Now, for me, this would be the back and this would be the front. It's just how I see this pattern, and it looks like I didn't fold it very well, but that's okay. I'll just trim that off. But from one sheet, we can get, without scraps, 4 mini slimlines. The back isn't totally white. Yeah, I wouldn't even really notice that, I don't think, Angie, or be bothered by that. But I know some people are really keen on crisp white. So that is a good point. I just don't. Chances are I'm going to get inky fingers on it anyways. Or I can tell you though, if that is a problem, if that is something that, and you're right, because sometimes it's not a crisp yellow or white. It does have a warm tone to it. And if it's bothersome, you could stencil. You could pull out your stencils and ink blend onto it. Or if you don't want to use your stencils, just ink blend onto it. That would be one way to kind of mask it. All right, so we got 4 mini slimlines from that 12 by 12 piece. It's so funny. I like making mini slimlines, but I do not like regular slimlines. Okay, so let's deal with this directional sheet. And see how we might want to cut it. I think you have to, with directional, especially with the tigers, for me personally, I don't like the prints being upside down on the back side of my card base. So I would want these to be side folding. And so if I just really wanted a card base made out of a piece of paper that is directional, then for me personally, I'm going to want to make a card size where from this sheet of paper, I can get a side folding card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a 5x7. I'm going to turn it this way and cut it 7. And I had a feeling I was going to cut that tiger. But that's okay. And then we're going to cut this down to 10. And now I'm going to score at 5. So now I have a 5x7 card, and the pattern is upright on both sides. So for me, I think that's like an important factor to keep in mind when you're picking your papers and deciding your card base size. This would have worked for any side folding. This could have been A2 side folding as well. But just think of that when you are cutting it. So now this is our scrap, and I'm still wanting a side folding. So I think what I'll do, it's not tall enough for an A2, but also I want to say that you can put this in an A2 envelope, even if it's not 5.5 and it's only 5 inches tall, right? So we could cut this at 8.5 and score at 4.25, and it would just be slightly smaller than an A2 card, and there's really nothing wrong with that. They fit in the same envelope. They're just a little bit smaller, and chances are you're sending it to a card maker who's not going to care, and they're just going to be happy they're getting one of your handmade cards, or somebody else who doesn't even know what an A2 card is. They're not going to judge you if your card is not perfectly sized to an A2. Another consideration to keep in mind, though, is that you might, if you were wanting to use this paper with like a specific die that's maybe a cover plate die or something, then that's going to be off because you're not dealing with a full 5x2. So there are different considerations to keep in mind, but I just wanted to say your cards can be a little smaller. Like if you're just trying to use your paper and use it up, it's not the end of the world if it's not a perfectly cut card base, a perfectly cut size. But guess what we can make? I had a feeling it was going to be a perfect A1 4-bar card, and it is. So we just need to cut this. It's a little bit bigger, but we'll trim it down, and it's going to be perfect. Okay, yay. I get another 4-bar. Okay, so I don't want 9 3/4. That's too much. I just need the 7. So this time we're going to cut at 7 because the other 4-bar cards we made were top folding. This is going to be, again, side folding, so our tigers aren't going the wrong way. I wish I would have cut this. I didn't cut this paper right, though. If I were to cut this paper and I was sitting and thinking about it, this would have been, I would have cut here because this would have been the front of my card, and I would have likely had a couple of tigers on it. Instead, this is going to be the front of my card, and my tigers are going to be on the back. So trying to give you all the considerations when you're doing something like this, um, to keep in mind. Okay, we did need to trim this down a little bit because it is just shy of 5. All right. And now we will score at 3.5. And we will have our 4-bar. It won't really matter because we're going to put other things on it. And there is one little tiger hanging out down here. But if I had cut it differently, I could have had a couple of tigers on the front. It's all good. So this is what we have left. And I'm thinking this can be a card, a matting layer for a card. Let's take a look at it. So it's 5 inches by 5 inches. If you make square cards, this would be really cool on a square card. I never make them, but they're so beautiful. Desiree at Include a Thank You makes a lot of square cards. And oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. I just never think of it. But I think I'll just save that piece like it is and maybe kind of force myself to make some square cards. Okay, we've got a couple more minutes and 2 more sheets of paper, so let's deal with those. So I'm put that off to the side. That was a 5-inch square that we had left over, by the way. So from that one sheet, before we get our next one out, because I'm liking showing you what you can get from one sheet of paper. So from that one sheet of paper, we got a 4-bar, a 5x7, and then a card front is the way I'm envisioning this, but it could go on a journal or whatever, 5x5 piece. So that's what we got from that sheet of paper. All right, from this sheet of paper, I'm moving on from card bases because I think we have done that. Only we might make a square card base, but I'll do it with this next piece. Okay, so from this, you know, for all my 5x7 peeps out there, this is what I would do. Y'all have seen me do it with my actual master boards, but I'm going to cut this 12x12 piece down into 4-inch strips. And then I'm going to turn and cut them at 6. Since this looks like a master board, and it's a good point to mention, and we don't have time to go into it in depth, you can make, if you don't want to make your card bases out of patterned paper, you can make card fronts. So right now I'm making these 4x6s, which I'll put on a 5x7 card. So I have some examples here where I did it with my actual master boards. So this is what they look like. So you can get 6 of these from one 12x12 sheet to make 5x7 cards that are similar to this. Happy Place Crafting has an aversion to white backgrounds. You have a triple aversion. Ah, that's so funny. No, Happy Place Crafting has the aversion. Ave, how are you doing? Hi, Heidi. Good morning. Yeah, absolutely, Angie, because some people are really passionate about their paper colors, like for card bases and stuff, like how white they are. For instance, if I compare these two, some people are going to look at that and go, oh my gosh, I would really want more than the one than the other, but I just go, yeah, that's basically white. But you're right, some people are very particular about that. neither one is right or wrong. It's just, you know, we have aversions, right, Beth? Okay, one last sheet. Let's use this one for the square card bases. It's going to be so easy. Okay, prepare yourselves for how easy this is. And yes, I keep my branding strips. Okay, I have a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I'm going to cut it to 6. And now I have 2 sheets of paper that are 6 by 12. I'm going to turn and score one at 6. And that's our square card, our 6 by 6 square card. And you can get envelopes for these. I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday and I was looking at their envelopes and card bases, and let me tell you, they were on sale and I still didn't buy any. I am doing so good. Okay, so from 1 12 by 12, we can also get 2 6 by 6 square cards. And let me tell you, they are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful cards. And if you're sending a package, your card doesn't have to have an envelope. Like when y'all order things from me, I don't put your cards in envelopes. I just put them in your package. And I'm the same way when I ship things to other people. If I'm shipping a package, I don't waste an envelope. I only use envelopes if I'm just sending or giving a card. So let's go over what we did here today. Hey, Brian. Hi, Paula. Today we had 30 minutes in the craft room and we're smashing 12 by 12 paper and we're making card bases. So if you missed it, go back because you'll get to see all the different variations that we did. This was 1 sheet of paper and we did 2 6-inch cards, squares. And let me bring in that one. We'll cover this one next so I can bring this piece in. So here's this 5 by 5 that we had cut it down. And it's hard to tell on here. But see, I didn't want to cut that piece anymore because I liked those 2 tigers. And this could easily go in the top of this card or whatever. So from 1 sheet, we got 2 6 by 6 cards. From another sheet of 12 by 12, we got a 5 by 7 that is side folding and our prints are upright. And see, this one's already dirty, Angie. I don't know how or why. We got the 5-inch square and then we got a A1 4-bar card from that 1 sheet of paper. From another 6 by 6 sheet of paper, we went ahead and cut down because it looked like a masterboard. I couldn't help myself and I made myself 6 more 4 by 6 pieces, no scraps. And these are for easy card making on 5 by 7s. Yes, you'll have a white border unless you decide to put another pattern back here or something. But that's what those are for. So these aren't technically card bases, but I would call these card fronts. Then from another piece of 12 by 12, we were able to get these 3 cards. We got 2 top folding A2 cards. And we got a top folding 4-bar card, which is an A1. So we got those 3 card bases, plus some lovely scraps to to decorate the insides of them. I thought those scraps were just kind of perfect because we had 2 scraps for the A2 and then easily another scrap for the 4-bar. So I'll keep all those little pieces together. So that was another sheet. We did another sheet of 12 by 12, and this time we just made 3 A1 or 4-bar cards that are top folding from one sheet of 12 by 12. And on this one, we did get bigger scraps, but that's okay. Like these could go on the insides. And then we got this piece here. Or you could just save these, make master boards, whatever. It's just a lovely little scrap that you can do whatever you want with. So there are those. That was another sheet. Then we took another piece of 12 by 12 paper, and this time we got 4 mini slimlines from this one sheet. And this one, I don't think we had any scraps. No, we didn't have any scraps left over from this one. Bye, love you. So this one didn't have any scraps because we cut it down to 6 by 6 and then scored it 3 inches. So from 12 by 12, we got 4 cards, 4 mini slimlines. Those will be so fun to decorate. And then our last sheet, hi TR, hi Avalee. This was the first one we cut, and we got a 5 by 7 and an A2. And from this one, we did have some scraps, but they were, again, lovely scraps that you could easily use while decorating your card. In any way, like, sorry, everything is falling. Look, I have my my mindless crafting stamp set. Woohoo! I can't wait to play with it. But yeah, these scraps can easily be used to decorate, you know, the insides. This one here could be another pocket, and that would be fun. So those are the fun scraps we had left over for making an A2 and a 5 by 7. I hope this has given you guys ideas about maybe another way to smash your 12 by 12 paper. Obviously, if you're a card maker. But if you're not a card maker, if you're a scrapbooker, a junk journaler, and you have 12 by 12 paper, well, look at all the card bases you could have. I think we did really well with 30 minutes of time here today, you guys. And it was so fun seeing you all. Ooh, I think it's 35 here right now, Cordelia. It's supposed to rain a lot today. I hope y'all stay safe and stay warm, everybody. And for all of our people, Miss Linda Veal and others out in Los Angeles, we are thinking about you, all of our California family. We are thinking of you and praying for you. And I just kind of say a general prayer in the mornings for all my friends here, wherever you are and whatever you need. That's my prayer. That's what I always say, wherever you are, wherever they are and whatever they need, please look after them today. I have a blanket prayer that I say over you guys. Look at that. We just now made a whole bunch of card bases, you guys. 13 degrees. You should move to Texas, Beth. There's a house that just came on the market across the street. I'm just saying, we could actually be neighbors. I know you'd have to uproot your entire family and move everyone to Texas, but there is a house across the street for sale. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all doing well. Stay healthy, stay warm, stay happy. No, TR, that's a good idea. But it's just been 30 minutes. So if you want to go back and catch the replay, I could come up with, and it's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll come up with sketches. It's like a sketch or just cutting directions for how to get the most out of your 12 by 12 paper as a card maker. And I can put that on my blog. I'll put that on my to-do list, TR. It doesn't have near enough on it. add this to it because we did come up with some good stuff here this morning. And I need to do it before I start using all this stuff or I'll forget what we did. I'll have to go back and watch my own video, and I don't do that. So y'all like my voice, but I don't. I mean, I do. I'm thankful I have a voice and I get to talk. I thought of that the other day. What if I ever like lost my voice forever and I didn't get to talk? I don't know what I'd do with myself. All right. I love you guys so much. I'm going to make time for it, TR. It's a beautiful idea. Linda Veal, I was just talking about you and how I'm praying for you and your whole area. I know you're out in the LA area, and I'm praying for you, sister. You stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope your whole community is. We love you very much, Linda Veal. Okay, love all you guys. Have a great day. Bye.